1590 WFBR Glen Burnie, Baltimore. Views expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect those of the Way Broadcasting Corporation or the staff and management of WFBR.
Hey, welcome to Shop Talk with Cassandra Renee. With me is my co-host, Kevin Eton. You didn't have anything better to do. How long have you been practicing that?
All day,
All
almost.
day? Okay, all right. That was a good one. Okay, we have Tiara in here with us now. Hi, Tiara.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, okay, you're not going to do the
No, I'm not going to do all of that.
Okay, well, thank you.
He took my thunder. I was going to do that, but you know.
Just like Kevin to take your thunder. I guess on the line we have Jimmy.
Good morning. How everybody doing?
Hey, Jimmy, how you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
On time.
Oh, he's always on time. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Okay, so yeah, like we said, happy Halloween to those of you who celebrate. You know, there's so many different schools of thought on that. You know, the celebration of Halloween and, you know, when it comes to religion and spirituality and that sort of thing. But, you know, I consider myself to be spiritual. And I've always celebrated. You know, my mom raising us, we went through the neighborhoods with our little costumes and our little bags, and it was just all in fun. And
What was your favorite costume that you wore?
Cinderella.
Now, did your mom actually go out and buy the tree costume, or did you have a homemade costume?
Okay, let me explain something to you, Tiara. Taking consideration my age, we had plastic costumes, okay, with the plastic mask. Kevin, you feel me? I don't know what Tiara's talking about. You have to go back to the 70s.
Yeah, you have to go back a little further.
Yeah.
Everything was made of plastic back then.
Everything was made out of plastic, and, you know, every character was European. But, hey, things
Pretty
have
much,
changed.
You had the rubber band behind the mask.
Oh, yeah, definitely had the rubber
Remember
band.
that?
No, I
You
didn't.
remember the rubber band?
She's
Oh,
a baby,
my
honey.
God.
She's not of our generation. You know, but my children have always celebrated, and we've always had a great time with it. I mean, I think the important thing is explaining to your children what Halloween is all about, and it's not about devil worshiping or that sort of thing, you know, because the same thing could be said about Christmas. A lot can be said about
A
Christmas
lot of
and
people don't
celebrating
celebrate it for that reason.
Absolutely. But shoot, with me, my kids, they've always celebrated Halloween, even though they have been raised in a religious household. So to each his own. We all have different schools of thoughts on that. But
Get that candy, honey.
Oh, you gotta get that candy cone.
Well, yeah, we love candy. I mean, that's one great thing about Halloween is the
all
candy
unite
part.
us.
Yeah.
Like, it's a quest for candy, not anything else.
You know, because once you get the candy home, then what? You don't
It's
even want it.
You know, plus face it, man, growing up in the city, I mean, Halloween is really the holiday for kids. I mean,
Yes.
because a lot of people didn't get stuff for Christmas, you know, so Halloween was one day that everybody went out and trick-or-treat and shared, and everybody got a little something, you know.
I wasn't allowed to go trick-or-treat.
No?
Oh, you weren't allowed to go trick-or-treating because
No.
of what? The candy? The
I
fear
don't,
of
you
the
know,
candy
I don't
being-
really know what it was. Like, I had 2 Halloween costumes in my life because I was sitting down
Ooh.
thinking about it. I was like, I don't remember the whole trick-or-treating experience. I went trick-or-treating one time with one of my next door neighbors. I went as a clown and she was a pumpkin. Or I was a pumpkin and she was a clown. I can't remember because I just remember the picture in my mind. I think I was the pumpkin. And we went to the mall. We went to Mondawmin Mall, and we went trick-or-treating, but that was the only time I remember going trick-or-treating.
Wow.
I don't know why. I don't know whether it was that my mom was working or she didn't feel comfortable with it, because I grew up in what you would call a very urban area.
Urban, okay. The
So,
hood.
You know what? You know, my sister got married on Halloween. You know, this is their
She
anniversary
did.
today.
She did. Happy anniversary, Ricky and Yvonne
Yeah,
Banks.
I was pissed off that year.
I'm sure you were.
Oh, man,
It
man.
interfered with your trick or treat.
Yeah, I had a tuxedo on. I wanted to put on a costume and go
Well, you could have
trick-or-treating.
been a penguin.
As
you know,
clean as
that's
I was, I
different.
could have put a pimp that day. I was clean that day.
Casanova.
Oh, you remember the name now. See, you'll never live that one down, Kevin.
Mhm.
Okay, some of you may be wondering, okay, why don't they get to the point? What are they going to talk about today? Well, we have several topics, as always. We're going to continue our topic from last week. Are some people too needy for one person? I mean, that was a hot topic, so we figured we'd carry it over to this week. Also, we're going to talk about the Republican debate. How powerful is the media, y'all? You know? media is very powerful, and which was evident by the debate, because a couple of the gentlemen on the stage, they were a little upset with CNBC. So we're going to talk about that, okay? Also on the list is, should adoptees have access to their full birth records, including their parents' names?
Oh.
Good one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and when starting a new relationship, should it be expected for former friends, and I put that in quotes, will be deleted? A lot of stuff to think about, right?
Facebook page
Off the
or something?
Facebook,
Oh, yeah.
Instagram,
Yeah,
and
okay.
all of that.
But
You
are
know,
they
should
real
they be
friends,
deleted?
though?
Hmm?
Are they real friends if they're on Facebook and Instagram? I don't know. Okay.
No, but I was, I put that in quotes because I mean people that you've been involved with.
Okay.
You know, should you let go of those friendships on Facebook? You know.
Okay.
Yeah. So think about that.
Okay.
Think about that. Robocalling. Have you heard about the robocalling? Student debt. Okay. A lot of people didn't realize this. The budget that was passed last Wednesday, what was buried deep inside of that was a provision that will allow debt collectors to bombard students that owe money to them with unlimited robocalls and automated text messages. And they could do it as often as they want.
That's harassment.
That that's what I thought it was, but now they are allowed to do that, and that's just, to me, that's just opening the doors for other creditors to do the same thing. Okay, so we are already talking about that, but this supposed to be just a little tease. But those are the things that we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to have a very interesting show for you. If you'd like to contribute to the conversation, please give us a call at 410-761-1592. Again, that's 410-761-1592. All right, y'all, let's get this thing started. Tiara's like rubbing her hands together. Again, you are listening to Shop Talk with Cassandra Renee. Okay, are some people too needy for one person? Kevin.
Well, too needy for one person. I don't know if I would put it that way. If you would you just needy. It's just it's maybe not something that you need. It's just the way you think life should work. You know, like myself, like personally, I like to have a pretty wife that's good and make and cook every day when I come home and stuff like that.
Every day?
Yeah, every day.
Kevin,
I
what
gotta
are you
eat
going to
every
do
day.
every day?
He's
to
old school.
I gotta eat
okay.
every day. I'm gonna eat
Okay.
every day. You know, so. And one woman might not like yourself. You might, I don't know, okay, I'll do this and I'll do that, but I'm not doing that, okay? So, but I got to have that done, shorty. I got to have it done.
Well, then what are you bringing to the table every day?
I'm the man.
Being
Kevin,
the
you gotta
man
be,
every
you gotta
day.
do a little
I'm
bit
the
more
man.
than being a man every day. You were born a man.
Exactly. I was born a man. So
Kevin, I can't talk to
when
you.
you start realizing that I was born a man, then the women will put themselves in the place of the woman, because then you will realize
Cassandra, I
you was
can't
born a
take it.
man.
Okay, Kevin, so that means that you're going to support that woman. That means
Exactly.
she can stay
As
home.
a man, I sure will.
Stay
I will
home,
support
not
her.
work.
I was
Take
well.
care of the household. No, baby.
No, yeah.
If we're going to go, we're going to go all the way.
Yeah, if I can afford it. If we
Oh,
can
yeah,
afford the
but
whole
we
thing,
can
yeah.
afford it.
Yeah,
Maybe
we
I
can
don't
afford
have the time. I can't afford the time to
If we
cook
can
every
afford it,
day.
yeah.
So then, how do you put in that disclaimer? If I can afford,
I mean,
baby, you better work 3-4
sometimes,
jobs.
let me tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes the women be asking for stuff that's just way off the chart.
Like
off the
what?
top
Like
of the
what?
table. You know, like shoes.
Y'all about to end up with a missing person
You know,
list.
stuff like that, like shoes,
Shoes?
and all
Oh,
kinds of
that's
things of that
necessary?
nature. You know what I mean?
What we supposed to walk around with paper bags on our feet?
No, but
Kevin?
you only got 2 feet though. Why you need 200 pairs of shoes? You only got 2 feet. You know what I'm saying?
There's multiple colors, multiple sizes, multiple shapes.
Yeah, but see,
You
there's
Multiple
also,
wear the same
healing.
but
clothes
see, there's
every
also
day?
things as a man that we do that I think you guys kind of overlook. You know?
Okay.
Oh,
We
overlooking
make sure
something.
as a man, right? We make sure that your cars are in perfect condition.
That you should.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying, so we do
I
what
agree.
we're doing what I should do. So what I'm
Absolutely.
saying is that I think my wife should do what she should do: cook, do what she got to do, and everything will be good.
But if she's working just like you, and she's
And raising
getting home
children.
at
well, then
5:30,
we'll
6
understand all
o'clock,
that.
just like
we'll
you,
understand all that. Then
both
maybe
of you are
sometime I might cook.
responsible.
Maybe sometimes she might cook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay, so you don't feel that it's a woman's duty. It's she, as the fact that she's a woman, it's her duty to do certain things for you. Then,
Yes.
oh, you do feel that
Yes.
way,
If she's
like
a woman
cooking and
and I'm
cleaning.
a man, she should do certain
like
things.
like what, Kevin? Make sure I'm clear.
Cooking.
But you just said maybe sometimes she'll
Yeah, I'm
cook, maybe
saying.
sometimes. Well,
if
then,
she has to work, if she, like she said, but maybe she's working. If she's working,
Yeah.
then she's not home to cook all the time.
okay.
Okay,
But
that's
then it's
that's
shared
understandable.
responsibility.
Yeah, that's
Right.
understandable.
Okay, the cooking and the cleaning
And I can
taking
understand
care
that
of
if
the
she
kids.
is a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home mother, I feel that is part of the job title of being home, is that those things are done. See, you didn't make that clarification.
No, he
again.
did
Okay.
not.
You just said
Okay.
that I want my wife to do this, that, and the other.
She's
And
expected.
I can understand that if, from the perspective of somebody that maybe was a stay-at-home mother, yes. I mean, if me, a working mother, a student, all these things, looking from the outside in, I'd be like, yes, I do expect you to have the house clean all
Right.
the time. Laundry should be done. Kids should be fed. I should be fed. Like, those are expectations that I have, because it's like, I understand that you have to keep up with the house and everything within an 8-hour day, but what else are you doing?
Right. See, now you might get caught up with sometime like my past, not anything in the present, but in the past, right? Now you may have that stay-at-home wife, right, little girl, whatever, right? But she's not cleaning, she's not doing nothing.
Well, then yes, that's an
Then
issue.
she gonna be staying
Right.
at somebody else's home.
But
She ain't
the
staying
reason-
in my home.
Right, but
And
she's
it'd be the
saying
same
that,
if it was
that
a man.
she's not doing it because she's looking for a job. She's trying to get out there and find her job.
But you know what? I
You
have
have
to. I have to share this though. Sometimes looking for a job can be a full-time job.
Okay.
Because you're constantly online, you're reading all that you need to read, you're submitting your resume, because everything's electronic now.
Right.
Yeah.
And you better read that information carefully, because all you have to do is make one teeny tiny mistake, and that's boom.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, your resume is not being considered. So it
Yeah.
can be a full-time job. People
Yeah.
kind of underestimate that.
Yeah.
And I understand that, but I feel like you still have to make that time, because you on the back end know what that expectation is. You know that, okay, yes, I've been looking for a job all day, but I at least need to have the house clean. Maybe I don't have dinner ready, but I have to have the house clean. Or maybe, I make a suggestion for dinner, like, why don't we, like, oh, Popeyes has their Tuesday special, 2 pieces for 99 cents, let's go there. So it has to be something, and it can't be an everyday thing, because, the way that it looks to your spouse that's going out or your partner that's going out and working every day is, I'm working to put food on the table and to provide and make sure that she has a roof over her head, he has a roof over his head, and what am I getting in return?
Yeah. And that's the way they look at it. They don't consider, even when, like you were saying, Kevin, the situation wherein the wife is, you said earlier, like the wife is home, that's her job, housewife. A lot of times they don't take into consideration the work and the time that goes into that.
Yeah.
It's just, they just look at it as, oh, you just sitting home all day.
And it takes a
Wherein
lot.
that may not be the case. It's a lot goes into keeping a house running.
Yep.
Especially with children.
Especially with children and small ones too.
Yeah.
They jobs in and of themselves.
Yeah.
But you know what? You even off a topic. Some people are just too needy, Kevin. Some people are just too needy. So what are you saying? Women in general are too needy because they have to have 200 pairs of shoes?
Sometimes they are. Sometimes women, I think, on a feminine basis, are kind of
Materialistic.
want things. Okay.
There's nothing wrong with wanting things.
No, but you don't want to take your rent money and buy your shoes.
Absolutely. You have to
Okay?
have your priorities in order.
You don't want to take the money that you need for your household and spend it on a belt or something like that. But
We agree
women-
with that.
I
some
think
women
that
do
has to
that
be-
though. They be like, well, you pick up the slack and I'll get the shoes and things of that nature. You
I
know?
think that part of that has to do with maturity of your mate. I don't think that that's necessarily to do with them being needy. I think it's just
That's what I was saying. As far as the needy part, might not be like a needy thing. But
Okay.
it could be like a mental type thing
Like
where
a
you're looking for
mindset.
something. Yeah, a mindset.
Yeah, and some people, they're just high maintenance.
And they
I mean,
say-
I know people that have that their partner is, like you said, mostly responsible for paying the bills, and their money is their money to spend however they want.
It depends on how they work it out.
Right,
there's some
it has to work
relationships
out.
that work.
Communication
And
has
depends
to
on
be worked out.
and the mentality between the two. Because
Yeah.
with some people, they don't mind taking care of all the bills and
Right.
for the other person to spend their money as they choose. Where in another relationship, the person may have a problem with it. They're like, hey, I don't care if you make $200 a week. $75 of it should go towards this household.
Yeah.
So it really depends on them. And the same thing about being needy, again, like I said last week, that's subjective. And Jimmy, you need to chime in here, baby.
Yeah, Jimmy, I forgot you were here.
Yeah, the thing is, I see the whole thing. I don't see it as being a needy thing. It's more of greedy.
Greedy, not
Yeah,
needy.
yeah, because basically my needs are more important than yours, and that's when you find. I say men and women when they go after multiple partners, because they don't care about each relationship that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
Is I want what I want.
So you don't think it's a emotion? So is it like an emotional greed or?
It's definitely an emotional greed.
Okay, and Jimmy, you mentioned last week something that I thought was really interesting. You were saying that when people have multiple people that they're involved with, multiple partners, then sometimes they fall in love with 4 or 5 different people.
Very much so.
You can't
and that's
do
something,
that.
I'm going to say in my younger days that I've actually experienced.
You actually
in love with multiple people?
You actually experienced falling in love with multiple people?
At the same
time?
I wasn't. Let me put this out there. I wasn't married at the time.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to bring that
Thanks
part
for clarifying
yeah,
that. But
it was more so a relationship thing.
Okay.
Where it was involving 3 different females.
Jeez, Jimmy.
But each female brought me something
different to the table. Yes.
But it's like.
So that makes you greedy, though? Do you think that makes you greedy?
Yeah, I still get it. Because for the most part, I didn't care about the other's feelings.
Okay, but were they aware of each other? Because that's something that...
No, definitely not.
Okay, because I was about to agree with you up until you said they didn't know about each other. Because Pam Massey brought up last week that, about her sons and how she's raising them, that if you're dating other people, as long as you let them know that you're dating other people, me, myself, personally, I don't see anything wrong with that. Because everybody's aware of what's going on. And, admit it, we mentioned that 80-20 rule. Yeah. When you're dating, I don't see anything wrong with, okay, I like this person because this person does that. I like this person because this person's funny. I mean, what's wrong with dating different types of people that kind of feed into some of the things that you like or love being around? I don't see anything wrong with that.
But the problem comes in is that each person believes that they're in a committed relationship.
No. I said as long as you have the communication open where they know that you're seeing other people.
I think
that's what I don't have a problem with. I have a problem when people are deceived, and that really bothers me too. Because some people are really good at it, where they give you so much time, you just know you're the only one, and that's deceptive to me when they know that they aren't that into you, but they lead you to believe that they are and that you're the only one. That's a problem for me, and that's how you set people up to hurt them really bad.
I think they are into you, though. I think that's the thing. They are into you
and
in that
5
moment.
other people.
Right, in that moment. And I think that, I agree with Jimmy. I think that it is greedy because at a certain extent, yes, it's okay for you to say, okay, well, I want to date multiple people. But you're telling these people, I'm in a relationship with you. This is my boyfriend. Right. This is my girlfriend. That's a problem.
That's the problem,
And it's
Jimmy.
yes, I understand that, this person can't, like you said, this person's funny, this person does this person does that. But you're not all those people in one.
No,
so it's
no
at a certain point, you have to accept that I can't be everything to one person. So why would I expect one person to be everything to me? And then on top of that, why would I go out seeking everything to be encompassed? And that's not even fair.
Jimmy?
Yeah, exactly. Because like you see, you don't have a complete person. No matter, I don't care how you slice it. But like I said, in my younger days, I'm seeking a person. Right. I'm seeking this. I need this. Everybody is bringing me something different. And the thing about it is, once you're in it, you can't do without any of them.
What? You can't. Once you in it, you can't do without any of them.
Yeah, because no matter what, just say if female number 2 decides, not to be in a relationship, you are going to miss her because now you're missing a part of that complete woman.
You know what, Jimmy? I'm listening to you and I'm disagreeing with you, but I see where you're coming from.
No, I agree. With you. I agree with you, Jimmy, on that one. If you used to dating 3 or 4 women, and you decide to take one, you're gonna miss them other 3 for sure. You might not harp on it or nothing like that, but you will say, "Wow."
But Jimmy, I'm sure you actually experienced wherein you were dating multiple women, but then that one special person came along. I mean, because you know what, there's sacrifice and compromises with everything. So I'm sure you've met that one woman that you loved, where you were willing.
What came into play, I think, was maturity.
Okay.
As you get older, you say, this is ridiculous. Because one thing is very stressful, and I tell you something else that you said that from a man perspective never worked. It is very hard to tell 3 different women I'm seeing other people, because what that's going to bring in is going to be the drama. Because you're constantly getting calls about why are you with her so long. It's just too much.
Yeah, but that's something that you clear up in the beginning.
That's what I'm thinking. In the beginning, you make
Your
that straight.
first date, you let them know. I mean, that's what I did. I like, look, I'm not the marrying man, boo. I'm not the boyfriend kind.
But the
I
thing
let
is,
those
you're not
people-
going to change the fact that women are very, very emotional.
We are emotional.
So
They
man,
they may be fine with that in the beginning, but it's going to wear thin really, really quick. Especially when it comes down to the holidays and stuff like that.
Hold
They're
on.
gonna always worry about who got more than they got, or why weren't you with me this longer. It's trouble.
but Jimmy, so you're saying that this is only women that do this? Because I just find this hard to believe. If I wasn't married and I'm out there dating and I tell all these guys, yes, I'm dating you right now, but I'm involved with other men. Do you really think?
That's being truthful. I'd rather you
The
tell
only
me that than
way
lie to
that
me.
it works
And I
is that
understand
man is out also doing his thing.
Right.
He's not going to stand around like a woman would.
Ooh. You know what? I'm
Jimmy, you're throwing out a whole lot of stuff today.
You know what? I'm not liking what Jimmy's saying. I'm not liking it at all. This seat is getting really hot in here. But you know what, Jimmy?
He right.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Drop the mic. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Women, we are led by emotion. And in the very beginning, we'll think, okay, you know what, I can deal with that. He's seeing
Yep.
other people. Yeah, I can just see other people. But then our emotions get involved.
Mhm. You
And
start
we
seeing
want
yourself
more
with
and
them.
more time with them. Then we find, come on, y'all. Come on, Tiara, we got to be honest about this. Women, we stalk. If we don't stalk physically, we stalk
Facebook,
via
Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram,
His job,
Twitter.
his girlfriend.
I hate that.
We're looking on everybody else's
Yeah,
page.
by the time you like 10 minutes in, you on their sisters, cousins, best friends,
Yes.
uncle, niece's page.
Looking
That just
at
had a
pictures.
baby, right? Just looking at pictures, not even looking at
pictures.
status.
That's right. So I mean, and so men. What gets me about men is men always think that they can fool women. That
Can't.
we're totally oblivious as to what's going on.
Nope.
When a woman suspects something, all she needs
Is
is
a
to suspect
door.
something.
She needs a glimmer of light, and
Oh
she in there.
my gosh. Inspector Gadget, Perry Mason, they have nothing on a woman.
Like national security has nothing on a woman.
On a
they
woman.
will find everything.
Oh my goodness, we will crack the code.
Yep, all the receipts.
Oh,
We gonna know
receipts?
who her phone bill name is in, who signed for her apartment. We will know everything.
Every step of the way.
And
So,
if you can't do it, you have a good girlfriend that can.
oh my goodness, resourceful girlfriend. Say, girl, I can find that out for you. I have it to you by the end of the day.
Y'all both working on separate circuits.
Exactly, and then you come together with all your information. But it's so true. Women, we are emotional, and men are more into the physical thing. But a lot of times, men are so caught up into what they're doing, they don't see what the woman is doing until we just smack you in the head with all this information. And then the man kind of wants to back away. And at that point, the woman is so vested
And
in the
scorned.
relationship. That's why I feel that and I've mentioned this before, I mentioned this last week. That's why I feel it's important to have open communication and let that person know at the beginning exactly where you stand with them and what your life is like. Then they can make an educated decision whether they want to continue on or not. I mean, people fall in love all the time. People may start off in a relationship saying, you know what, this is just something to do. And then feelings become involved. But that happens not only for women, it happens with men as well. It just sneaks up on you like, oh man, I'm in love with this person.
Especially when they fabulous.
Oh my goodness.
It's
They
hard.
cater to you. How can you not?
Yep.
But Jimmy, I tell you brought up some good points though.
They hurt though.
It hurts to hear. But at least now we know.
Cassandra, we always do. We just didn't want to admit it on radio.
So Jimmy, yeah, you have a good point. And I think it's really interesting what you said is like when one falls off that was given that one certain thing, then what do? Do you actually seek out for a replacement?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's exactly what you did. You go out and you seek a person to fill that void.
So you're not reformed. So I guess my thing is, so if you have a couple, and let's say that the boyfriend, husband, or the girlfriend, wife is caught cheating, and then they whoever their main person is said, I will reconcile with you. Let's work it out. Let's work through it. You're saying that other person never really gets to the point that they can be committed back to that main person, that they're always going to be seeking out somebody else to fill that void.
I mean, that could happen, but it comes down to the mentality of the guy
Or the woman.
Or the woman. Because if they still a void in that relationship, they are going to seek, or they're going to be very unhappy.
So I guess what you said is true, or somebody said, was it Kevin? You know, that some people just aren't meant to be in committed relationships. Some people aren't meant to be married. But my thing is, that's cool. That's all well and good.
But you got to let people know.
Just let people know.
Like, just instead of, and I get the letting them know early on, but I think in some cases, Cassandra and everybody, it's hard to, like, some people don't know themselves enough to make that judgment call. They may go into it thinking, I want to date this girl, or I want to date this guy, I really enjoy that time, I really want to spend time with them, and they in themselves don't realize that they need more than one person to satisfy their needs. And that's not just sexual, just any need. They need more than one person. But if they don't understand that about themselves, how can they communicate that to a potential partner? They can't communicate that to you because they don't know that about themselves.
Or if they are in denial. So many people are broken and they're in denial. And something else that was brought up last week, what about the generational curse? You know, things that are passed down through the generations. Like Pam mentioned last week, you know, if you have, you're a woman and you have a mama who was the side chick and you the result of that relationship, that's all you know, and all you see is loving somebody else's man.
Yeah.
And then it goes down the generations. If we really look at some families, we can see where that has happened. Then the question is, how do you break that curse? How do you break that chain? But first and foremost, the first thing you have to do is acknowledge that it exists.
Yep.
You know, I think that being single, if you're a single person, I don't think there's anything wrong with dating more than one person.
If you're single and not,
You know,
like, by single,
so
we don't mean like on a form single.
No,
like,
I'm talking about you
Truly.
have your own place, you're living in your own place, you're doing your own thing, you're single. But that's one thing that we didn't establish in the beginning of the conversation.
We did.
What type of person is it? Is it a single person, or is it somebody that's living with somebody, or married? You know, but I think if you're single, I mean, that clears your slate. That makes you they give you a get out of jail free
no,
card,
but you have to let
know?
we keep saying this over and over again, though. You have to let the people involved know that you
I
are
agree with you
single,
on that one,
that they aren't the one.
You let them know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the beginning, you let them know that you're single and you going to maintain your single status. It's okay to, you know, hang out, things of that nature. You being straight up with them.
Yeah, and so let them know that there's not a chance of a relationship.
The problem comes in is when they start acting like you my only girlfriend or you my only boyfriend.
There
People
you go.
start believing in stuff like that.
Yes.
You know, so we was talking earlier about compromise and communication. I mean, that's important.
Yes, it is.
If you're not communicating with the person, then you really plan them. You plan them.
That's exactly what you're doing.
That's all you're doing. And that's, to me, playing people and dating people is two different things.
It's dangerous. It's very dangerous. You're listening to Shop Talk with Cassandra Renee. Okay, let's move on to the next topic, y'all. So I guess to sum it all up, y'all, we got to stop playing with each other's hearts. We have to stop playing with each other's heads and just be open and honest.
And
okay?
know who you are.
Know who you are and
know
what
you are.
And know who you're dealing with, too.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can end up in certain situations, we like, how in the world?
Fatal attraction.
Yeah.
And being in a long time, too.
That's right.
You might have been in 5, 6, 7 years, even 12 years.
Kevin, you sound like you're talking from experience.
Oh, yeah.
I
Wait,
know,
let's go
a
to
little
another
sweat bead rolled down his face. What's going on?
He done broke down his mug and everything. All right, so let's move on to the next topic, y'all. Let's move on to the next topic. Did anyone here watch any of the Republican debate?
Parts of it, yeah.
Bits and pieces of it. Jimmy, did you watch any of it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay, so what did you think of it?
I think, well, I really didn't. I guess I'm like the only one. Didn't see any problem with what when it was being questioned.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess they expect it to be friendly questioning. I think a lot of the presidential candidates need to answer direct questions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you know what your future president going to be like, because it's not going to always be a friendly environment.
Mm-hmm. You know, and sometimes it's so funny how people, when they feel that they didn't perform as best as they could, they try to find someone else to blame. And one thing I've noticed that the gentlemen that are the Republicans who are vying for the presidential position, I noticed that that's one way that they band together. They band together in terms of attacking the media that they said attacked them. And if you notice throughout the entire debate, there were several ones like taking turns throwing it back at the media, you know, and a lot of them feel that one of them even mentioned that the media is a part of a super PAC. They're the ultimate super PAC. So they were saying that they were leaning more towards Hillary Clinton and they weren't giving them a chance. So that's why they felt they were being attacked. But that's all a part of a debate, though. You know, sometimes you're going to feel attacked. That you should be prepared for that.
But you look at President Obama. I don't think any president that we had been attacked more than him.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you ever turn to Fox, like the Fox network, and listen, it's a constant attack.
Yes, constant. That's why I don't even watch Fox.
Yeah, why?
But I think the next Republican debate is going to be given through Fox, but I'm not sure because I think they actually canceled a debate because of the CNBC fiasco, as they put it. But I thought I actually enjoyed it. I felt like the candidates were more respectful to each other this time than they were the last time. So
I think that's because they banded together.
They did.
They probably all came in with an agenda that they weren't going to keep on being bullied by the media.
Yeah, as they say, bullied. Yeah.
I use that loosely with air quotes.
You use that with air quotes? All right, Kevin, what are your thoughts?
Well, you know how I am, cousin, when it comes down to politics. I think I should be the president of the United States. I think I could do a great job.
Are you Kanye West now?
He thinks that he is.
Yeah, I mean, you know. But I just think that, I think that being alive right now is a wonderful thing to be able to see Obama as president. You know, I'm not much into politics and stuff like that, but I have to say that when that brother came out and started running, it brought me out of my hiding, you know.
I think that was the case with a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's right.
A lot of people voted that hadn't voted in
for years
or ever. Yes.
And now it's kind of like fizzled down as far as I'm concerned because I don't have anything in here that kind of just exciting me. Like, this black man running for president was exciting.
So you think the same excitement is there for the possibility of a woman, first female president?
I think so, but not from me.
Okay.
But I think it is igniting something in people, that normally wouldn't consider politics at all. But because she's involved in it the way she is, I'm pretty sure some people.
But there's a female Republican candidate too.
Yes, there is, from Silicon Valley, I think. But I think what it says to our children is, even you can be president.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're female, it doesn't matter if you're black, if you're Hispanic, it doesn't matter. Even you can be president.
Yeah. Okay? Nobody's going to listen to you when you get there, but you can be president.
Don't say that.
But I just feel like, to bring up the point with Obama, and I agree that anybody can be president, but it's like, look at what that man has had to endure. Like, I can't remember in recent history, even when Clinton was caught literally with his pants down, did he have to go through this much scrutiny the entire time he was president all the way out? No.
But you know what? That's the pains of being a pioneer. That comes with that, being the first.
True.
Being the first anything, you have to deal with the pains of it. Okay, y'all, let's move on. We got a couple more topics we want to go into. Should adoptees have access to their full birth records, including parents' names? I have mixed feelings about that, because I think sometimes people give children up for so many different reasons, and they may not want to be found. That they may not want to meet the child that they gave up.
You're talking about the parents.
I'm talking about the parents.
The original parents.
The birth parents.
And it might be hard for the adopted parents, too, because I think it's that sense of longing, that missing piece that comes into play with children that are adopted and their adopted parents. The adopted parents always feel like one day the birth parents going to show and it's like the other shoe is going to drop. And then now, even though they've given their love and their time and their dedication to raising this child, that this child still wants to get to know the person that dropped them off, like, in some, trash.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I don't want this child anymore for whatever reason. It could
Right.
be that they can't financially afford it. Maybe
They were
that
young.
they had it out of wedlock, or
Mm-hmm.
that it was outside of their marriage. Any various
Or
reasons.
a rape.
Or rape. Any reason could be why they gave this life up, that they
Mm-hmm.
decided to carry the child to term, but decided that it was not best for them to be the parent.
Right.
So I think that the name part, I don't think that should be included. However, I feel that people have a right to know who they are and what they come from.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that certain things should be disclosed, like, what, maybe not even what city, but like, in terms of education, like, what's your background, who you come from, what are you about?
Mm-hmm.
I think all those things play a factor. Even like just medical disclosure, like certain things,
Absolutely.
like you have a history of cancer in your family, like that's something to be aware of, because yes, your adopted family won't have that, and they may not disclose that to you.
Yes.
And I think the other issue with that is that adopted parents, they sometimes, I think, struggle with, do I tell them? When do I tell them? Am I being dishonest? And all of those layers fall into place. It's like you're almost forcing the adopted parents to disclose that to the children, that you are adopted. This is the information for your adopted parent, but they don't want to be found. It's like, here's the tip of the iceberg, but you can't go all the way in the skin.
I wish there was some sort of way wherein they could make the information available if
Like a
both
registry?
sides agree.
It has to be.
You know,
some sort
because
of
there,
agreement.
because there are probably parents out there who, want to meet
Right.
the child that they gave up.
Right.
So maybe there's a way to connect both together. Jimmy.
I agree. I agree with you saying. What I think needs to happen is that there needs to be some sort of a database
Yes.
where the parent that gave up the child will, at the time they give the child up, will pretty much, I guess, put it in a database,
Right.
or the adopting or the officials, whether or not they ever want this child to be able to get in contact with them.
Mm-hmm.
And with the same database, to put all medical records concerning that particular family that won't necessarily can be accessed by the adopted child, but being able to be accessed by the medical community. And then have like a set age, say like around 25 of the child. If that child choose at that time to be in contact with the parent that gave them up, then it's okay.
What
But
scares
not
me?
until that point where they have the maturity to be able to accept it and deal with it.
What scares me about a database is it being compromised. I always think about that. Because you look at, the government's databases are constantly being compromised, because you look, I'm not even going to name names, but anyway, I'm just going to leave it at that. They're being compromised, where even their employees' information has been compromised, Social Security numbers. So to have all of this information in one place, that's kind of scary to me.
I don't think that it needs to. I agree with Jimmy that I do agree it should be all in one place, but maybe not certain details. So like the name and stuff like that, maybe that should be somewhere like back, like it shouldn't be on that front page. So like if that child puts in their date of birth, hospital where they were born, I get weird with Social Security numbers being
Right.
used as an
No.
identifier, but like name things like their actual birth name that they were given on their birth. I think if they can like check those boxes, fill in those fields, that it should like be able to pull them up. Okay, these are the people that we think that you're matched with, or this is the person or family that we think that you're matched with, and based on this is their family history. This is the things that those things that are pertinent in terms of a health perspective. In terms of a location perspective, like I don't think it should be as hard as it is now, because I've heard stories about it being years and years. Like I'm actually Instagram, Facebook friends with a guy that's looking for his birth father and cannot find him and interested in it. He's had online campaigns, asked people to share it on their Facebook page and things like that. Like he really wants to find out where he comes from, who he comes from. And I don't know whether it's that maybe his mother's passed or that maybe his mother doesn't want to share. I don't know what the stipulations are around it. All I know is that he's searching for his father. I think that it should at least be a little bit easier because it's a little heartbreaking. It is a little heartbreaking, and I feel that those people will, although they can still grow up to be fantastic people,
Amazing people, yes.
you'll still feel like a part of you is missing, a part of you don't understand, a part of you don't know, and that may play into their relationships with other people.
Well, it always does.
Yeah.
It always does. But again, that's what concerns me is security. Because if you think about it, will this database would it be accessible by anybody, or would you have to meet a certain criteria and go through a certain screening
what I'm
in order
thinking
to access
that you
this database?
That you actually have to go to adopting officials, that they will be the only one that can actually access it. It's not something that you can do yourself. You have to go and, pretty much put in a request for it. And then at that time, they will contact the actual parent that gave them up to say, your child is looking for you. Do you want that child in contact with you? So they will pretty much initiate all the initial contact.
So you think there still should be some type of mediator from the
Oh yeah, right,
social
yeah,
services?
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. There should be a middle person. Shouldn't be a direct link.
Yeah. Plus, also your maternal connection, like from a birth mother to a child, or a father to a child, is unexplainable. And for somebody to grow up without their original parent, I mean, I'm pretty sure they would like to know who they are. So I agree with you, Jimmy, as far as the database, but I think it all depends on the circumstances of each individual case, because you may have a case where the parents, when they had the child, maybe they was doing so badly that they just knew that they wasn't gonna be able to take care of this child.
Right.
Now here it is 15 years later, they're doing okay now, and they might not want to take care of their child, but at least they would like to be able to see him. They're 15, 16 years old now, and I think that they should be able to see their children.
Okay, so what if the adopted parents have a problem with that, though? I mean, do you think
But
that's
what I'm
something that
saying.
should be
That's why
forced on them?
it would have to be a circumstance thing. It had to be on an individual thing. I
Right.
think that the maternal connection should outweigh the adopted connection.
I
That's what I
disagree.
think.
Because
Yeah,
that is hurtful.
I totally disagree with that.
Not to the point where.
Because that can,
Wait a minute, let me finish.
the whole.
Let me finish. Not to the point where the original parents take over the person. They still live with their parents and everything.
But they become a part of their lives. Or
They only had to
meet
be
them.
they ain't got to be a part of it. Just to be able to see that offspring, just to be able to see him one time, because you haven't seen your child all your life. I mean, that's something hard to live with.
You have to realize they gave the child up.
Right, but I said they gave it up in the beginning because they didn't have everything together. But at 15 years down the road, they might get themselves together. It's still not good for the adopting parents. That's why I specifically said that child needs to be an adult when this takes place.
Yeah, rather than
You don't have a 15-year-old all of a sudden discover their parents. No, you have all kinds of problems that come in at that point.
Okay, I get where you're
Yeah,
saying with
and you
that.
know what? And the parent may feel that they're okay. Oh, I'm better. I'm okay. And then try to enter into that child's life, and maybe that person isn't okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes having people in your life that aren't that great is worse than not having them at all. Sometimes you're better off without people in your life, especially when you're at an influential age, such as 14, 15 years old. I agree with you, Jimmy, when you say that this child should be an adult and actually initiated him or herself. Because at that point, they've bonded. They've established a very close relationship with their adoptive parents. Because as we were talking through this, I think about like stepchildren too, stepfathers, stepmothers, the same type of situation. This child is being raised with you, and I'm sure there has to be the fear that one day that maybe this child that you've been raising will establish a relationship with the birth father or mother, the one who's been absent, and forget about you. I've heard people mention that many times before. So it is a fear, not only with adoptive parents, but with step parents as well.
I see that a lot with step parents. I have a friend who deals with that now. She helps to take care of her stepson, and it's just like the mother is completely absent, but yet she catches the flag. She catches the flag from the father's family that, she's not fair to him, and she doesn't treat him as equally as she treats. And I think there's so many different schools of thoughts there that it could be a slight difference between the children that she's birthed versus her stepchild. But I think that, like Kevin was saying, it's that maternal instinct. It's not on purpose. I think that at some level you are going to do things slightly different for your kids, or you feel that you have more of a right to do certain things. Whereas with your stepchildren, you feel like maybe I do need to discuss this more with his birth father and his birth mother. Like, it feels like, okay, I can't just make these decisions on my own. Like, I always find when I think about stepchildren, I always find the best, I guess, shining example is Will Smith and Jada Smith and what they were able to do with their oldest son, Trey. Because, you know, they have Trey, Willow, and Jaden, I think that's his name. And they raised Trey as if he was a part of, he was one of their kids. And Jada and, her name escapes me now, but Jada and Trey's mother have a very good friendship.
Yes.
Not even like, oh, they're BFFs or like they have a good friendship because the needs of the kids supersede anything. But that's such a unique situation. I've never ever seen anything like that be successfully accomplished, because 9 times out of 10, if the step parent isn't, or the birth parent isn't in the picture, it's because of, oh, well, they divorced, it was an ugly divorce, or the parent is out there like they're on drugs or something like that, or they didn't want to be involved. I think it's just, I don't know. I feel that it's just, it's really, you have to be careful. You have to be careful because these are people's feelings.
Yep.
These are people's feelings. And I think that with birth parents, it's tricky, regardless of whether they gave their child up for adoption or because the circumstance and the way that the divorce papers flew, that the kids ended up with one parent over the other. I think that it's very tricky because you don't know what feelings they may harbor, what guilt they may harbor, what resentment they may harbor, and their own agendas that they may bring into the situation in trying to get to know the child.
But you know what? You have to consider the child first. What you do or don't do will affect that child. It's not about you.
I agree, but a lot of people forget that, though.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's move on. Did you hear about the robocalls? Student loans? Oh, my goodness, that's something that's been approved. President Obama approved that, y'all. So it was within the budget from last Wednesday. So it will allow debt collectors to bombard students with unlimited robocalls and text messages. Even once they ask them to stop, they can continue on. My concern, like I mentioned earlier, is that this is going to trickle over and down and up and across to other debt collectors. Okay,
so
Tiara.
I have a question. Where do they get the telephone number from? Is this from your original loan document?
It probably is.
Okay.
It probably is from your original
So can
loan
you just change your number?
You know, I guess you can. But who wants to do that?
Right.
You know, it's just like your regular phone number from back in the day. You don't want to just keep changing your regular phone number. So, Kevin, how do you feel about that?
Well, first thing, I think that college should be free like public schools anyhow, personally. I think that as far as the education, I think that when we have free public schools up to high school and then cut off, and then you have, they're not really adults. They're young adults. They're not adults yet, but they're going off into college. And then you already setting them up with a loan that they got to pay back.
Debt. Yes,
you're starting off in debt, exactly. And I think it's a terrible way to influence our young people to start off in debt like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so since you're saying that it's a terrible way for your kids to start off in debt, because do you believe that parents should then be the ones to take out these loans on their kids' behalf?
No.
I think not.
No.
Okay.
It shouldn't be their responsibility if they want to. You know what I always think about, like when people go and they refinance their homes and stuff, and they go into all this debt to pay for their children. And I know this may sound cold, but it's not meant to be that way. To pay for their children's college education. You think about it. If you are 40 and your child is 21, you look at how much time they have to pay off that loan as opposed to how much time you have to pay off that loan. It should be their responsibility. Again, I feel that parents should help in some way, yes, but they shouldn't be responsible for those student loans, because they have their lives to live. They done raised these children. They've raised them, and a college education is definitely going to benefit my child more than it's going to benefit me. They're going to enjoy it a lot longer than I would possibly enjoy it. So I feel parents should help, but I feel parents should not be responsible. So, but as far as these daggone robocalls, that is ridiculous. To me, that is harassment. And I'm very surprised that they actually passed this. And it just goes to show a lot of things are being passed sort of like under the radar.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, lobbyists, different businesses, a lot of organizations were behind this and they pushed this to wherein they ended up passing it. Jimmy, you actually had a son that was in college. I don't know if he still is in college. So how do you feel about that?
I'm actually totally against it. I can understand as long as there's a limit. Let's say, like with the robocall, you can only make contact with the person, say 2 times within a 24-hour period.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fine. And then also, it comes down to the amount of money that you owe. Now, I can understand if there's like a $80,000 loan that's out there. That's one thing. But I don't think somebody should be harassed if they only owe like maybe $6,000 or $7,000 like that.
Yeah.
And like something that you were just saying, I think is important. Because the other place, like medical bills and stuff like that, they're going to feel as though, well, we should be able to do the same thing to collect our debt.
Trust
so
me.
it's going to simply be one of those things of a bill, being that the bill is passed, I guess. So it would just simply spill over into that.
Because that's how things go.
Yep.
They start off with one small area and then it just expands over into other areas. And this will be no different. So it's starting off with the student loan thing. Then after a while, American Express, Chase, and Visa, and all of them be after you too. So it's like every time your cell phone rings, it could be a collector, and they can continue to do it. They can call you 3 times every hour if they so choose, and send you text messages. And you think about it, some people still have plans where they pay for text messages. So you're paying for the text messages that they're sending to you.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It is. And I feel like, especially in a case where you work on a job that you need to have yourself, because I would just say, I'm going to turn my cell phone off, but it's like you have family. You have things that are going on. You need to have your cell phone accessible to you, or at least some type of phone where they can connect you. And now you're taking the one thing. It's like, well, if you're doing all this, why don't you pay for my cell phone bill? Because you're using it far more than I am.
Absolutely.
That was going to be my point. The money that they spending for the robocalls, that's a lot of money to be harassing people all over the nation like that.
Oh, trust me, you end up being the one to pay for it. Just like when any accounts go to collection, I see a hand raised. I don't know if she's stretching or what, but when you have an account that goes into collection, what do? They add that collection fee. So trust me, at the end of the day, you're going to be the one paying for those robocalls, okay? All right, y'all, let's move on. You are listening to Shop Talk with Cassandra Renee. What are we going to talk about? Our last topic, y'all. When starting a new relationship, should it be expected that the former friends, I put in quotes, will be deleted? I'm going to start. I got to start with Kevin.
Yes.
Got to start with Kevin.
I say like this. I mean,
here we go.
If you got a new relationship and that old stuff is up there, I mean, if I'm your new boyfriend,
yes,
I should not let that bother me. That stuff was going on with you before me and you got together. Now, as long as all that is past and things of that nature, and it's part of your little Facebook, and I'm not worried about that. Personally.
So you don't have a problem like if your girlfriend, she's all pictures of her all booed up with her ex. It's still on her Facebook page. That wouldn't bother you. And it wouldn't bother you that they still Facebook friends or Instagram friends and liking each other posts.
No. She's my woman now. Let's make that perfectly clear. I can't control what happened to that woman before I got to her. That's just what happened. I have no control over that.
Right.
Now, if we together and we having a relationship, I'm expecting her not to have a relationship with an old boyfriend, but
that's the expectation.
I expect that. Yes, you know what I'm saying? But to get all hot-headed and say, you got to take him off your Facebook and he texting you. Well, I don't know about the texting thing.
Yeah, but what about like if that person is always on their Facebook page, liking all of their statuses,
But the only way I would know that is if I was on there, though. The only way I would know Facebook, that if I was always on her page.
No, not necessarily, because sometimes things go through your
timeline.
Yeah, your timeline, and you see them. And like if you like a status, it'll show up in my timeline.
Okay.
So that person doesn't necessarily have to be on your page in order to see
see
what's going on. And sometimes all it takes is one little trigger, and you're like, oh, let me go on here and see what's on here. And you may find where maybe if you find that the same guy keeps posting stuff to her page.
Well, something like that is different. I thought you meant like if they took an old picture and it's up there and it's just the way it is.
No, just in general, pictures,
you're talking about some
connections.
You're talking about
keep it going.
Oh no, we can't have
keep
that.
Keep the communication going.
Oh no. I thought you were saying like she had posted some.
I mean, in general,
on her page,
right?
And they're just there,
like from
but
when they were together,
consistently putting stuff on there and things of that nature. No, I can't go for that.
Okay, just comments and stuff and liking a lot of her statuses and that sort of thing.
Something fishy about that there.
Okay, all right, Tiara.
I feel like people will always find a way. If that is what their intent is, they will find a way. You can, and I also feel like if you say to your girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, whatever. Okay, well, I don't feel comfortable with you being Facebook friends with your ex. Delete them. I feel like you're inviting the issue because they may have not seen the issue there. Because I mean, how many of us have like hundreds of Facebook friends? Hundreds. Sometimes you should look at your like, who is this? I didn't even know I was friends with this person.
Yeah, but let's go back though. This is a person that you've been involved with, and a lot of times,
I get it.
A lot of times we don't see issues, and it's not because they're not there. It's because we choose not to see certain issues because they aren't affecting us.
Directly.
So to us, it's not an issue, but it could be affecting someone else. So my thing is, if it's affecting somebody else that you supposedly love and involved with, I'm not saying change, but it should be an issue. It should at least warrant a conversation.
If your partner or spouse says to you, I don't feel comfortable with you being Facebook friends with this person, or, this, that, and other. I think that, okay, yes, if that's how they feel, then go ahead. And if that's, if you're considering their feelings, go ahead and delete them. What I'm saying, though, is that I feel that, okay, so you deleted them this place. Don't mean they won't find a way to contact them if they really want to be in contact with them. And I just feel like for me personally, my husband's Facebook friends with his exes. It doesn't bother me. I'm Facebook friends with his exes.
Right.
That doesn't bother me because I feel like, and it's not like, because I just want to know what's going on in their life. I've met them before. Like, after my husband and I got together, before we were husband and wife, I've met them before because they all went to college together.
The same circle.
And so I know who they are. It's like, and it's not that, I'm not threatened. I'm not that woman. Don't get it twisted. It's not that I'm going to say, I'm not threatened by them at all. What I'm saying is that I'm not going to say to him, honey, delete them off of your page. Now, again, it's a whole different situation when you're talking about they are actively posting on his page, liking things and saying, like if it's like a picture, like you post, like you like the pictures where it's just him by himself instead of him with his family. Like, I think that those type of things, because it's like you have to look at it. Like, if you're liking all the pictures, I don't really care. But if you pick out the ones, this was, he said something about how he had a rough day and needed a massage. Let me like that one. Oh, me too. Okay, you went a little too far. So I'm gonna be a little shady.
All right, Jimmy.
I had a clear-cut answer until you threw the thing in about pictures. Now, I wouldn't have any problem of the person I'm dating, her ex is on her Facebook page and stuff like that. Back and forward talking, as long as the communication is appropriate. Now, what I wouldn't want is for her to still have pictures of her all booed up with him.
Wait, from the past? So you want her to delete her past? That's what you're asking.
But
no, exactly. I don't feel, if I'm in a relationship with you, I feel as though you shouldn't have pictures of you and your ex booed up together.
Even if this was done like years ago? I mean, I don't. Because I've only been with my husband.
I don't think that's appropriate.
You can't speak on that because you know what? I agree with you, Jimmy. I'm glad we were bold enough to say it. So since you were bold enough to say it, I'm going to agree with you because I was too scared to say it. But I agree with you, Jimmy, because especially when you have like your children are your Facebook friends, right? And family members are the Facebook friends. And you know how sometimes Facebook will show these old pictures and they come up from nowhere. And it's like, wait a minute, it's a picture of the guy that I'm involved with booed up with this other woman. Oh, nah. Because there are some what do you call them?
Memories?
Albums. You can put it in an album where it isn't visible to everybody. You know what I mean? So my thing is, if you want to move it to an album that isn't visible to everybody.
Or just take it off of Facebook. But
just take it off of Facebook completely. And, Google Photos, I think is really interesting what Google Photos does. It has face identification.
Just like iPhoto does that.
Yeah, it has face identification wherein it can identify certain faces and make them so that they're not visible. Okay, I'm for that. I'm for that.
It's just like I mean, and again, I really can't speak to this because on me and my husband's Facebook page, it's just us, right? Because we've been together so long, but I don't. Maybe I would feel differently if he had pictures with him and another woman booed up, I'd be like, take it down. But
that's an issue. That's an issue.
I don't know.
What? And that's an issue we can continue on later. We will probably be taking a week or two off, but that day is just a week or two. So y'all stay tuned. Check out our website, keep up with us, which is talkwithcassandra.com. Again, the website is talkwithcassandra.com. You can email me at info@talkwithcassandra.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Cass6. All right, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, bye-bye.